Welcome, everybody. Here we are with a game against someone from Singapore. Singapore. Interesting Singaporean flag. And we have the Nimzowitsch defense Breyer variation, which is interesting. This F3 idea I've often found quite annoying, actually. A little bit annoying. But an interesting idea here is knight h4 sort of situation. Is pretty good. I think though that queen here and bishop back might be one of the key ideas to just get rid of this lovely dark squared bishop in a light squared pawn structure. That's his so-called good bishop. So this is a lovely diagonal to take control of in the game. And that's the wrestling battle that we're having now, but piece mobility for him is not going to be as smooth. Queenside castling seems very much on the cards. Let's just castle. Let's just castle. This is a slightly ambitious looking move, I would say, but only slightly. Pawn up here is risky because pawn up here disconnects the bishop and attacks the queen, and you can end up losing a piece. So, scary situation, but not too bad. I'm going to go with a structure like this. Just hold everything solid. Don't mind if he captures and I have this so-called double pawns. It's not a big deal. It's a pretty solid setup either which way. Knight could easily drop in here. That would be a lovely looking square for it. But let's see, is there anything better? Let's just go like that. Huh. That's definitely sounds fishy as a move. We're gonna have to deliver a check. We just have to deliver a check here, sure. And knight hopping in here seems very much on the cards. But we also want to cater to this knight, see what he's up to. Let's tickle him back. Tickle him back, get our knight forward. And then see about this idea later. We have this in the bank either which way. He did castle as expected, queenside. Do we do this right away or do we defer it? No, it's hard to say. So let's just develop the bishop. See what he wants to do with this knight. Does he want to come in there? He does. Well then we take him off. Let's take him off the field and get a nice outpost there with the knight. It's not a super solid outpost. It can easily be removed eventually, but it's pretty good. And now I've run into a little bit of trouble here, as I see. Both pieces are undefended. Mess that one up slightly. Although I think I have a little tactical shot here. If he takes this pawn, then knight takes here, defending the queen. Could be the way to go. It's an undefended queen at the end of the day. So nice little bit of tactics to the rescue from a tricky situation. Gotta work on your tactics. Tactics helps you to find resources to get out of a tricky spot. It's knight here, pawn there, knight here. Knight here is blocking off the bishop and disconnecting the rook. So it's achieving a lot. I like this knight. Pawn up here has got to be in his radar as a candidate move. I'm going to just hold this solid, guard against this knight, and aim to potentially play g5, but I'm waiting to see if he already plays h4. He doesn't. He made room for his bishop. That's clever. That's clever. Yeah, I thought I'd blocked him off, but I forgot he could advance the pawn. That's well done. Well done. But can we not just go for it right away? We got all the firepower on it. Ah, he's already just pushing forward. Pushing, pushing. Okay. Let's open him up then at least. Yeah, let's open him up. Come in with the knight. You get the rook. Ah, he preempted it. Okay. Okay. Now we'll stop that. We won't allow him to develop this bishop. We have to stifle this bishop. That's our whole game strategy. Stifling this bishop. And he wants to open him up. But we're going to keep that pawn here guarding against this crucial c4 square. And now we'll try to find moves to slowly improve the positioning of the king. But how do we win this pawn? How do we dislodge this knight? Those are the critical questions you want to ask yourself. So he's trying to travel the king forward, but he can't really. So let's just here and here. We have to watch out for knight hop checks and problems like that. We have to keep in mind the knight forking possibilities as well. But for now, we're just slowly developing the position. And then when the time is right, we'll find a way to do something better. Knight check here has got to be on the cards for him. Why hasn't he done it yet? He doesn't need to, but I think he should have done it on the previous move. Or no, I would have taken the pawn, right? Yeah, okay. Uh, yeah, all in all, you see how these pieces are binding so well to disrupt the coordination of the opponent's rooks and bishop. You want to hold that kind of tension. You want to hold it for as long as you can because it's good for you. But you want to make incremental developing moves. I think now we have a decision here on how the game's going to proceed, so we'll accept it and we'll play against it. Okay. Got our opponent under tremendous amount of pressure, I think, but it's not a sealed deal by any means. Rook here is inevitable. Rook check is also inevitable. I mean, knight check. Coming from the back is interesting. We'll come from here and we'll threaten a mate right over there. How can he stop it? Not easy to stop it. Okay, he's trying to squiggle out, squiggle out, squiggle out. Just throw in the check anyway. Throw in the check. I don't see the follow-up. Shit. Shit, shit, shit. In a bit of trouble here now. In more than a bit of trouble with a few seconds left on the clock. Piece trade here. Okay, now he should have taken off the knight. The knight's the only tricky piece in a position like this. The rest of the pieces are much, much easier to handle, and now we can threaten a meeting sort of scenario, but it's not quite there. He's got the rook check. He didn't take it. He's not taking his chances. We're gonna have to punish him for that. You don't take your chances, you should pay the price. You should pay the price. In all honesty, we all know this. Shit. Okay, so now we're winning this one off. Now we gotta pre-move our way. Okay, it's a draw. At least it's a draw. But good game, good game. Very intense finish, and hopefully we learned something. Let's have a quick review, prior variation. A lot of dynamics here. Interesting positional setup. I think the tactical resuscitation that was enabled by this queen move and this knight hop here, that was very vital for the overall game. White perhaps had a bit of an advantage here, but it was difficult position to hold. And then black slowly started to wrestle away some of the momentum, but didn't have a clear finish, just had some pressure, you could say. And, well, all in all, there was a lot of pressure building up on black's king, but he managed to escape, managed to get out of trouble just enough to stay in the game. And black here now took a significant advantage. White should not have allowed that. And then here white should have taken his chance to win the knight, but he didn't find that. So the game continued. And of course, white is playing on the clock a little bit. Black's also playing on the clock. It's all quite interesting. Black clearly has the advantage, but it was already too late, so had to settle for a draw eventually. Good game.